Hey, what's up, you guys? So, Banlist season has more or less started, and by request, a viewer asked me to give my Banlist thoughts. This video, I'm going to call it more of a Banlist possibilities video rather than a Banlist predictions video because, as we've learned in the past, Konami is really unpredictable, so there's not really a whole lot of use in like trying to say this is what the Banlist will be or should be. So this is going to be more like my thoughts on what could possibly happen and how I think that if these things happen, they would, whether that be a good or a bad idea. So yeah, we're gonna hop right in. As always, this is just an opinions video. Feel free to disagree with me. Don't flame me to hell, but just leave your thoughts or disagreements in the comments and we'll talk about it. So first we're gonna start out with the cards that are banned or could be banned. And there's only one card that I think should be banned right now, or even could, and that's Solemn Warning. So this is a big thing with people. Like, some people think, oh, Solemn's fine, other people are like, it should go to 1. I think it'll go the way of Solemn Judgment just because Konami doesn't like Super Say No cards, and it's a Super Say No card. It's spell speed 3, the monster never hits the field. I mean, like, it's hard to stop. Yes, I know, wiretap, but people don't really seem to be playing that. I think that Konami wouldn't mind just getting rid of the card. I could see them very well keeping it at 1, but with all the other trap holes that we have, like Trap Tricks, Trap Hole now, and all that stuff, like, I think that it's kind of like, we don't have to have Warning anyway. I'm indifferent to whether or not it goes, but I think that's something that they would probably look at. And that's the only banned card, I think. Soul Charge and the Dragon Rulers and other stuff aren't on my banned radar. I mean, they could be, but they're not on my radar. I'll get to them shortly. So for limited cards, my first one is Kaiser Coliseum. This is an interesting one that some people have mentioned vaguely. The card is a bit of a lockdown card. It's a bit of a floodgate. When you play it in certain decks, your opponent sometimes outright can't do anything. Especially, like, depending on what, if any of your opponent's playing an Xyz-based deck, and you play Kaiser Coliseum with one monster, and they're playing like Madolche or Dragons or like just anything, Fire Fist, a lot of times they just outright can't do anything, and that's kind of unfair. It's kind of a you don't get to play Yu-Gi-Oh card. And it's very easy to just activate. Like, I wouldn't say it's as bad as, say, Macro Cosmos or anything like that, but I don't know. I think it could go to 1 and kind of kill that whole let's tech in 2 or 3 Kaiser Coliseums and everything. So that's my thoughts on that. So next we're going to talk about how Gear Gear could get hit. Obviously, I think the Gear Gear should go to 1 and probably will go to 1, I hope. It's just too much speed and consistency in one trap, and when you open with like 2 of them, you can like use it on your opponent's end phase, and then the next one on your turn, and I've seen that happen like in duels. That's too much advantage, it's too quick, and with it at 1, it's not like the deck is completely, dead in the water, but it's not like stupid. Gear kind of aren't super popular right now, so I think that's all that really needs to be done. But another possibility is Karakuri Shogun Buri. The Karakuri Gear OTK is not really popular right now. I won't say it fizzled, but it just got less popular when pure Gear became the thing. That's not to say, though, that it couldn't come back. So I think the Buri going to 1 would be a good way to kind of like freeze that OTK. Like, it doesn't shut it off completely, but it just stops the like repeated summonings and the easy rank 7s. So Karakuri Shogun Buri, the synchro, for those of you who don't know, the level 7 synchro, I think could go to 1. It's like a possibility. Next is how to hit Mermails. So Mermails have not really been doing anything. They're pretty weakened right now. I'm fairly satisfied with where the deck is, but if something had to get hit, the possibilities to me would be like either Mermail, Abystius, or Abysphere. I think that a lot of people share that view. Abystius is where a lot of the consistency is, and it gets, the Pike, and the Pike gets the stuff, and it can get a little crazy. I think that Abystius to 1 would be fine. I also think that Spear to 1 would be an interesting kind of thing to see. I'm not a huge fan of Abysphere. I think it's a really, really powerful trap, and the dual purposes of it are crazy. It can protect your back row because no one wants to blind MST at Mermails. And Abysphere, like the fact that you can use multiple ones per turn, and the easy free Lin play. I'm not a fan of that being super viable. So I'd say either one of those cards. Like, if I had to pick one, I would say Abysphere over Abystius, but it's all up to, opinion, I guess. Next is how Fire Fist could get hit. I don't really think Fire Fist should get hit. Like, I feel like they're at a fairly stable point. But the thing is, Fire Formation Tinky is such a big point of contention for a number of reasons. And I don't really think that, like, Tinky just has to go to 1. I think, like, maybe 2 would be okay. I'm just including it in the limited list because, you know, 1 was a possibility. But, like, I don't know. Tinky is... Fire Fists aren't, like, doing a whole lot right now. But I think that Bear and Tinky alone, not the Fire Fist deck, but just the Bear Tinky sort of suite of cards, however many Bear plus however many Tinky in whatever deck, is really powerful. The whole Tinky Bear pop swing free plus, that little cycle of cards, I think something could be done about that. I'm not a super advocate of like limiting Tinky to 1. I think Tinky to 2 could be okay. I've heard some people say like a Bear to 1 or 2. I wouldn't be opposed to it, Bear to 1, but I don't know. I just don't think the deck is like in a super dangerous position in the meta right now, but either one of those cards to 2 or 1 might be fine. And Tinky would inadvertently hit Boojins, which I think otherwise will probably evade the ban list. But we'll hop into them next anyway. Boojins aren't doing a whole lot right now, but that's not to say that they won't, because they keep getting support. And now that they have like a billion Honests, that's a thing. I don't think like Crane will get hit. I don't think it'll get hit. I think the Yamato would probably be a better target to hit, and like putting Yamato to 1. But that's only if Tinky doesn't move. So if Tinky stayed at 3, then Yamato could maybe go to like 1. But if Tinky went to 1 or 2, I think Yamato could stay at 3, and maybe you could hit Crane instead, because Honests are a little bit broken, and like Crane's a little bit better than Kalut, so I don't know, maybe Crane to 1 or something like that could help, but I don't know if it, I don't think Boojins will even get hit at all, but if they had to, I guess that's how I would say would be maybe a good way to do it. So my next card is number 101 Silent Honor Arc. Some people are like, oh, this card's fine. I don't think it's broken. Like, I used to think it was like way too good, but I don't think it's broken. It's just that it's super accessible, and so when someone has like 2 or 3 copies in their extra deck, it's a little bit annoying because like early game they can just use it, and then late game they can just use it, and then, you know, later late game, I don't know, however you want to call it, they can use it again, and so that gets a little bit annoying when like Silent Honor Arc is so accessible and just so like easy. Just come out and steal your monsters, and it can steal your Stardust, it can steal your, you know, your everything. Any good monster you've got on the field, it just takes it. So I think that putting it to 1 would mean like people have to, it's not just so easy, it's not just an out you just don't even think about, oh, just Silent Honor Arc. You actually like have to value your 1 Silent Honor Arc. I think that would be a good thing. Next is Madolche. Madolche is like the best deck of the format, but it doesn't really feel like it's like overpowering anything. I'm not a huge advocate of like hitting anything in the deck. Normally I would say that like Angelique could get hit, but I don't think they would hit it because Konami, you know, just released it. But then they've proven us wrong about that, because I mean, like they hit Fire Fist Spirit like right after it came out, and you know, stuff like that. So maybe Angelique could go to 1. I just don't feel like Madolche is like uber threatening, but if they had to hit it, I guess Angelique to 1 would be the way to do it. Unfortunately, that means that Madolche probably would never be able to compete, but 1 Angelique can still make the deck pretty scary, so it's all that like really needs to go off. So like I think that Angelique to 1 could be like how you handle that. I'm a little bit more indifferent to that one. And the last card is, I'm reading off my phone. The last card is Judgment Dragon. The reason why I say Judgment Dragon is just because the Light Swords are getting the new support really soon after this ban list drops. Like I think they get it on July 20 something, and so they're getting that really powerful synchro, and they're getting like Raiden and stuff. And so I think that with all of that taken into account, 3 Judgment Dragon as well as that synchro, because if you haven't read it, it's really good, would just be too much destructive power in the hands of Light Swords. There's not much more they can do to like stuff like Charge the Light Brigade. So that's why I feel like it's basically got to be Judgment Dragon to 1 or possibly Lumina to 1 again. But I don't really want to see Lumina moving around more in the ban list. I'd rather see the super powered Judgment Dragon get the nerf instead. So that way, like if Light Swords have their synchro, they actually have to still play you, not just BS you until they have enough to drop JD. Because I don't really like that style of play. I think it punishes players who are actually trying to play, and you know they get JD'd. So that's what I think for them. Maybe Konami won't do this because they don't care, but I think that could be a smart pre-decision. So semi-limited, I've got a few. Some of these are more personal-ish picks, but I'll start with the more relevant ones. I think that Fire and Ice Hand probably should go to 2 each. They're not like super powerful cards that you can tech in absolutely everything like people initially thought, but in the hat deck, the advantage that they generate and the field like locking sort of that they generate is a bit too strong. I think that putting them both at 2 would mean it's still like a viable thing, but it's not just so like turn after turn after turn after turn, you just can't get rid of them, and if you do, they're popping everything. I don't really like that side of them, so I think that putting them both to 2 could be like a great answer to that problem. Another card is Soul Drain and Skill Drain. I think that I guess it makes sense that Soul Drain went to 1 because it's a bit of a shutout card, but I think that Soul Drain could go to 2, and I think that Skill Drain should like go to 2, or even 1. I maybe should have included that in 1. Both the cards are like really anti-meta and kind of annoying, but Skill Drain's been under the radar for a while, but it's not a bad card, and whenever you use it against decks, it can be a shutout. So I think that like Skill Drain could go to 2 or maybe 1, and like Soul Drain could go to 2. I don't know what I'm saying. You guys get what I mean. Like both the cards are weird. They're really strong, but something should be done to both of those cards. I don't know where I'm going with this. The next card is Thunder King. I think Thunder King can go to 2 and it'd be fine. I think that you could put like something like Thunder King to 2 and not have to worry about like Tinky after that and like Boojins and stuff. Like I think that if you can put Thunder King to 2, we wouldn't be like bitching nearly as much as I think we do about some of these cards. So I think Thunder King could be great. Neospatian Grand Mole I think could go to 2. Honestly, I don't even know why it's on the list anymore. It's kind of crept out. I don't want to say put it to 3, so just 2 for testing. Same goes for like Book of Moon. That's a popular one that everybody says. I don't think it's moving, but that's just more of like a possibility. Gladiator Beast Bestiary. The new fusion that Glad's got isn't relevant. I don't want to say it's not relevant, but it's still not. It's not pushing them into tournaments anytime soon. I don't even think Bestie to 2 will push them into tournaments. The meta's just changed too much for Glads to keep up, whether they can pop or not. But Bestie to 2 would be cool. Gale to 2 would be cool. I don't want to say Gale to 3 because that could get dangerous, but Gale to 2 could be cool, and Glads and Blackwings would both be back, and those are some of my favorite decks, so maybe I'm being biased, but I mean honestly they're not doing anything, so can it really hurt that much? And then last but not least is actually a weird one, is Dark Arm Dragon. Now the only reason I was hesitant to put this on the list is because I know like the Shadow things are supposed to be coming out, so it kind of sucks. But Dark Arm's not doing anything. Konami is pretty avidly avoiding making great Dark archetypes, and when they do, it's like Evil Swarms that aren't really compatible with things like Dark Armed. So Dark Armed 2 would be interesting to see. Like it'd be a cool little blast from the past, and it's a very powerful boss monster. But I think that putting it at 2 would be cool. Maybe like that would be too much, and stuff like the Mali Zombie Chaos Dragon type decks would get too much of a buff from that. But it would be interesting to see. Don't think it'll happen, but it is just a possibilities thing. And last but not least, here's some cards I think could get unlimited. Reasoning has been on the ban list. Don't really think it matters very much. The Transmigration Prophecy. Maybe it would be better to put this to 2 first and not like 3, but the Transmigration Prophecy, I know there's a loop with it, but it's not a relevant loop. The Transmigration Prophecy is just a good side deck card and a fun little counter. It's not like a super plus. It's not going to win you the game. Half the exceeds like Tiramisu and all like do that kind of stuff now anyway, so I don't know, like Transmigration Prophecy could come to 3 or maybe 2. Magician of Faith could come to 3, maybe 2 first for safety, but I don't think it's really relevant. Summoner Monk could come to 3. It's not doing anything. I don't think it's ever really going to. I mean, like, it's only used in specialty decks, like Harpies or something. Maybe Zombies, just to slightly up the speed, but it's a pretty balanced card. Dark Strike Fighter, I think, could go to 3. Now that the errata has been issued, for those of you who don't know, the errata makes it where you can only use this effect in main phase 1, you can only do it once per turn, and you can only do 1 Dark Strike Fighter's effect per turn, so there's like no possible way of like getting, you know, an OTK thing off with it. So they've errated Dark Strike Fighter. The only thing is they haven't printed an errated version yet, so it's kind of interesting. I don't know how they plan to go about that, but I think that once that gets printed, Dark Strike Fighter could very easily come to 3. It's not an issue. It's really not an issue at that point. And there are a couple of cards that I didn't really mention in this video, and that's the Dragon Rulers. I didn't include them because I don't really think that they're a big deal right now. If you put Soul Charge to 1, the Dragon Ruler deck isn't going to do a whole lot. I used to like hate the Dragon Rulers with a passion. Now I don't really care. I just think they are what they are. They're fairly safe to have in the game right now. They help, you know, the Wind deck for Tempest, or the Earth decks for Redox. It's not really a big deal. I don't think they're gonna like take the game by storm anytime soon, as long as you don't give them the opportunity to. I mean, like, I guess you could ban them and like it'd let you bring back Dragon Ravine, but I heard there was some rumor that like Ragunities were getting some new support or something, so I think we should just hold it how it is, keep Ravine banned. Or maybe, I don't know. But I don't really think Dragon Rulers are a big deal. And the next card is Curry Bandit. Don't think it's a big deal. Not every deck can really use it, and it's not super amazing. It's just a card. I think it's fine at 3. I don't think it's, you know, breaking boundaries. I don't think that I forgot anything. I probably did, and you'll probably like blast me in the comments, but those are my ban list possibilities. Again, this is just stuff I think could happen. It's not really predictions anymore. Konami does what they want. It's already an awkward ban list because it's coming out after Nat, so it's like in the beginning of July. We'll know the ban list in a couple of weeks anyway. You know, they're gonna probably have it out by the end of June on the website, so we know. And we'll know, but please share your ban list thoughts in the comments. I'd like to hear. I'll be responding to comments and having some discussions. Be respectful. Be respectful of my opinions. Be respectful of other people's opinions. I'll be respectful of your opinions. And we can get a lot of great discussion done, a lot of theory talk. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. This was done by request. And that's really all. I hope you guys liked it. Please thumbs up for more great Yu-Gi-Oh videos. My Q&A video is coming soon, don't worry. And hope you guys just enjoyed. Follow me on social networks, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.